All right, welcome to Long Island's #1 pro wrestler and broadcast, Monty Nefaro, filmed out of Indie Music TV, out of Ronkonkoma, New York. And at the producer's desk is our friend Matty Ice. Matty, how are you?
I'm doing excellent. I'm waiting for Christmas. Looking forward to it.
Just a few days away. I'm a little disappointed I'm not wearing my Christmas hat.
Where is it?
I didn't bring it. I fucked up again.
You fucked up again.
You know, we got to watch with the language. We curse too much.
All right.
My father says we curse too much.
All right.
Icon lost, my friend. Corporal Kirshner, dead at 64. The former WWE star and former U.S. Army paratrooper Michael James Penzel passes away.
All right.
Penzel, former U.S. Army paratrooper, met iconic wrestler Hulk Hogan in the gym and was introduced to the sport. In the 1980s, he signed with the WWE, then known as the WWF, where his gimmick was R.T. Reynolds and then Corporal Kirshner. It's thought that he was the replacement for the legendary Sergeant Slaughter when Sergeant Slaughter had that fallout with the WWE over the G.I. Joe. Penzel then performed in Japan under the gimmick Leatherface, a character based in the villain of 1970, which you're a big fan of, Texas Chainsaw. Mm-hmm. And in 2001, Penzel was scheduled to appear at the Royal Rumble match in WrestleMania 17, I think it was. But a week before event, he was pulled from the lineup. So, Corporal Kirshner, my friend.
All right. Well, I remember him, obviously. Didn't he have a program with Volkov at, like, early WrestleManias? So
yeah.
There was an early WrestleMania. Maybe. Wait a minute. Wasn't that the one you loved so much? WrestleMania 2?
WrestleMania 2.
Okay.
I think they were at the Nassau Coliseum.
You saw the match then?
I think so.
It's very interesting. How do you recall the match? Do you recall it? Or?
Do I recall the match?
Yeah. There you go.
I wasn't a Nikolai Volkov
like,
fan, so that was a big problem.
You're not a Nikolai. Wow, someone's very angry right now.
I'm not saying that for
and
any
it's not
reason.
me, by the way.
I know.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Like, when I hear that Nikolai Volkov was one of the greatest
wait
villains of all time,
Nikolai was
I
great
never
for his-
thought of him as a villain, even as a bad guy. I thought of him as, like, a comedic bad guy.
Did you enjoy his Russian national anthem?
Yes, I did.
I thought it was fantastic.
So did I.
I think he's underrated as a baritone.
But was he a villain?
What a baritone.
Like, people would say, him and the Iron Sheik had more heat than any other. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, Sheik, perhaps.
No, when they were together
Iron
as tag team
they had
champions.
Heat. Yeah, they were great.
What, you were angry when you went to the
No,
Garden?
I
You were
wasn't
like,
angry. Honestly, Fuji and Saito would have probably brought out more emotion than them.
Thank you. That's
to
my
be
whole
very
point.
honest.
I never saw Sheik and Nikolai and go, oh my God, I hate them so much.
But they were really great together, though.
No, they were great.
That was a great
Being
villain
great
tag
together
team.
didn't coincide
Right,
with
but didn't
being,
like
yes.
generate hatred out of me. No.
Right.
No. Sheik did sometimes, but I think Sheik was a cut above most villains to begin with anyway. Even some of the greats. Sheik was like special great, with the Heat Sheik, the Iron Sheik. The Iron Sheik was great.
So, Corporal Kirshner.
Corporal Kirshner. You know, it's weird. I flashed back to, and by the way, what was he, 64?
Yeah, young guy.
That's awful, okay? I can't help it, though. I flash back to the reality because, look, this show's real. And I remember, what was it, like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, we went to we were part of a convention, I think. We were doing an event, and it was a big one. And the place was like sardined.
Right.
It was sardined. There was 1 million wrestlers there. And we were on a line for, I think, Harley Race, of all people.
Yep.
And we're waiting to see Harley Race. And there's this empty table. And it was Kirshner. He was just sitting there.
I remember that.
And I remember being
that.
kind of depressed about it. I thought to myself, I was like, this guy was like in one of the WrestleManias, like in a major profile match. I'm like, doesn't anybody want to go over and he was looking at us like,
I think I might have said to you, is that the wrestler moment, like from the movie, the wrestler?
Right, the wrestler.
The wrestler
and
moment.
I thought to myself, he doesn't deserve that.
A few things I just want to wish everybody who's joining us today happy day before Christmas Eve. Thank you for joining us. ESO says, my first wrestling show was Corporal Kirshner versus Nikolai Volkov in a boot camp match.
Cool.
I was 10.
Cool.
It was at Poughkeepsie Civic Center.
Nice.
It was also night Orndorff turned on Hogan.
Nice. Gotta love that Poughkeepsie Civic
Phil
Center.
says Volkov was not hateable.
Volkov was lovable.
He was. That's what I'm trying to... Even when he was the flag versus flag match with Kirshner, it was like, I didn't hate Volkov.
You know who came across as like King Kong Mosca?
That guy was hateable.
Yeah, he was hateable.
Yes.
You know, but there's something about Nikolai.
Orndorff, when he was a bad guy, was hateable.
But to be fair, though, I didn't get to experience the Nikolai Volkov of the early to mid '70s. Something tells me Nikolai was like that during that time period, but I can't be totally sure. You know, I didn't live through it. You know.
Well, rest in peace, Corporal Kirshner.
Yeah.
Again,
way too soon.
You know, we talk about icons in wrestling.
You know,
I was thinking to myself walking in
way
here.
too soon.
If I say to a wrestling fan, Corporal Kirshner, people remember. Saturday night's main event.
Sure.
Corporal Kirshner.
Sure.
Right?
Corporal Kirshner.
You remember Corporal Kirshner.
Absolutely. It's
but
way
then
too soon.
Yeah, it is way too soon.
Oh, come on. You know?
And right
That's
before
really
the holidays.
Stinks. Oh, my God.
Right before the holidays.
And you know what? I'm sure at some point we were probably going to have him on. So there we go again.
Rob B says
this business loses so many.
Rob B says Volkov was like a likable uncle, minus the touching. minus
yeah,
the touching.
Please.
Yeah, please. Please, Uncle, don't touch me anymore.
Don't sing the national anthem and
All
do
right,
that.
the
What
Black
are you doing?
News Channel announces layoffs before Christmas. And the statement, I'm reaching out today with very unfortunate news about the reduction of our workforce as the president and CEO Princell Air in an internal memo.
Yeah.
As you know, throughout the course of this year has been expanding at a rapid rate.
Right.
And the majority owner of the Black News Network is Shad Khan.
Wow, Merry Christmas, you Grinch.
Where are all those wrestling experts? Vince!
Wow. That's really rotten. That's awful. And you know what? That's as rotten as his lousy, rotten football team and his stupid kids' lousy freaking company.
Wait, hold on, dude.
Well, AEW is not truly that lousy.
If your company's not surviving,
yeah,
you have to do
at
this.
At Christmas, you couldn't wait till maybe January 7th?
Let
them at least have the illusion that they're going to have a holiday.
Is there a difference?
Yeah, to me there is. At least they got the illusion of the holiday.
Okay. You know what, Jimmy? I'm going to go with you.
At least give them that.
You're
like that. What the hell, dude? You are like Michael Myers.
No, you're right. You're right.
What are you doing this Christmas? Hacking people? I mean, what are you doing?
Come on now.
You're rough. That's hilarious, dude.
All right,
Where
the
do you
wrestling
get that
world.
news anyway?
The wrestling world is in an uproar, my friend.
They're in an uproar. Well, by the way, I like the way you spelled it. UPRAW. Uproar.
Uproar.
I thought uproar, but go on.
Uproar.
This is unbelievable.
AEW fan ejected for aiming transphobic sign at openly transgender wrestler Nyla Rose.
What?
A man was ejected from AEW Dynamite on Wednesday after he held up a transphobic sign.
What did it say?
Openly transgender at the transgender Nyla Rose, right?
The transgender Nyla Rose.
The AEW star was involved in a match with Ruby Soho in North Carolina.
Ruby Soho, there's
and
a
the
fair
sign
match. That's
said,
fair. Okay.
Nyla Rose is that guy's dad.
Why are you laughing? What am I a bad guy because I think that Don Rickles would have found this funny? That's hilarious. Wait a second. Oh, they threw him out though because he's being insensitive.
This isn't the first time we've seen this kind of insensitive behavior at the AEW promotion
now I'm not
before.
confused.
Just last month, a fan called openly gay wrestler Anthony Bowens a homophobic slur during his match.
All right, that might be a little bit different, but this was actually.
Is this really something to get this crazy
This is
about?
kind of like Don Rickles, that sign, though. That's something Don Rickles would do. That's fucking. It's not. I don't even know if that's malicious. Maybe it is to some people. I guess if it is to some people,
PJ
it's
says
their reality.
these kids would have never made it through the 90s.
No, the 90s. Try the 70s and the 80s.
Hey, PJ, with all due respect, they wouldn't have a transgender wrestler in the 1990s.
Are you kidding me? There's no way.
Listen, anybody has a right to do whatever they want.
Yeah, do whatever you want.
But
that's
here's
fine.
I was thinking
but
about
wait a minute,
Nyla
though.
Rose.
Okay.
Let me just get this point
No,
to you
please
real
go
quick.
ahead, because I just want.
This is a female wrestler who really is a physically a man.
Right.
Okay. There's no
Understood.
cutting back from that.
Okay, I got you.
Who loses to 90-pound women on a regular basis.
Right.
So how could you be a professional wrestler?
Right.
That's one.
Right.
Number two.
Okay.
It's like I think to myself.
All right.
A fan puts a sign up, and the world is like, this is the most disgusting thing.
Right. All right. Yeah. And you know what's even more fucked up? This is what really fucks me up. Okay. Now, I want the audience to stay with the Pharaoh on this one. All right. You tell me where the revolt is, because there's a lot of confusion going on here with the mixed signals. All right. The sign said Nyla Rose is that guy's dad. And then there was a quote, to everybody wondering, the asshole has been removed from the venue. The quote came from Nyla's wife. Are you following?
Okay.
The sign said that something about dad, which is a reference to that he's a man, right? And then you have a quote coming from Nyla's wife. Doesn't the fact that Nyla has a wife reinforce the fact that he's a man?
That's a good
What are we talking about here? So he basically made a Don Rickles joke. Hey, that's somebody's dad. Oh, man, the wife doesn't like it. Well, if that's the wife, then he must be the husband. What's the problem
Well,
here?
no, you can have two wives, dude. In today's day and age.
No, I'm talking about in this particular situation. If she wants to be... Oh, they're both wives?
Yeah.
What the? I now pronounce you wife and wife? Listen, I'm not up on all the particulars. Look, you guys can do whatever you want out there, and whatever floats your boat, that's fine. They want to throw the guy out for the sign. To be very honest, the way things are nowadays, he probably should have realized that the sign was going to get his ass tossed out because somebody was going to have a problem with it. The end. You know.
But
whatever.
meanwhile, I will say this.
And I'm not a transphobic. If I don't like Nyla Rose, the wrestler, I just don't like it. The end. It's got nothing to do with nothing. It's not my thing. But don't judge me.
By the way,
you know?
a mess says Farrell was working in his welding trade and was laid off 2 times, a couple of times, 2 years in a row at Christmas time.
I was at the welding job. I had
what
a
a mess
welding
says.
job.
That's what he's saying.
I'm trying to remember. Did I?
All right, so back to
Christmas
this.
time.
This is the same organization that left a sign up that a fan had that said Vince McMahon has destroyed more careers than COVID-19. Is that not offensive?
That's vicious out.
Is that not offensive?
Dude, everything's offensive. I mean, it really depends on the law. I just actually thought that, that would have been hilarious coming out of Archie Bunker's mouth. What the hell do I know?
Bro, can I really tell you
know,
what's
I mean,
offensive to
I-
me? Can I really share with
Yeah,
what's
please,
offensive
by
to
all
me?
means.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Inflation's at an all-time high.
Yes.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's a mess.
Am I
You see
accurate
the
with
gas,
that?
The gas pump?
Right?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Everything,
yeah.
food, everything,
it's
right?
ridiculous.
Pandemic is killing people,
Yeah.
right?
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm watching.
Farrow's got cauliflower.
I'm watching who. Flowers got cauliflower
I mean,
here?
what the frig? Things are bad.
But no, I'm being really serious here, dude.
All right.
I'm watching Hulu,
All right.
and comes on this Tiffany ad.
Tiffany.
Tiffany, you know the jewelry,
Yes. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
with Beyonce and Jay-Z.
All right.
Okay, the ad's called, like a campaign called About Love, right? Where they have their lovely family with their children in their giant mansion,
Right.
flying in their private planes.
All right.
She's wearing like a 124-carat diamond.
Right.
And we're getting pissed off about a sign that says Nyla Rose is this guy's dad? Meanwhile, we've got 2 billionaires flaunting their riches while people can't even eat?
I have one question. How come they didn't help out the BNC network with those employees that got laid off at Christmas time? Well, no. Well, you might as well. You got all of these excess riches. Why don't you be a little more gracious with that there? I'm not volunteering other people.
I gotta tell
but
you-
if you're gonna stick your freaking commercial in front
Dude,
of me, and show
I'm
me
gonna-
your watch that's worth more than my entire existence.
I was offended by that
Fuck
commercial.
you!
I was
Merry
offended by
fucking
that
Christmas.
commercial.
Fuck off.
You know what? You got cauliflower ear.
Yeah.
I'm fat.
What?
And meanwhile, we got Beyonce playing in a giant room with this grand piano while her husband's filming her. And her kid, hold on, what's the kid's name?
Is he
Hold
the one
on.
who thinks he's Jesus Christ? Who's the one?
I
who
don't
put
know.
the-
He's got,
the
like, I don't
thorns
know.
on their head.
But wait a minute, hold on.
Was that somebody else?
Hold on.
I get
What
a
is
lot of
the
celebrities
kid's
mixed
name?
up nowadays. Because I'm mixed
Oh,
up.
with their kid, Blue Ivory.
Blue
Ivy.
Ivory is the name
Blue
of the kid?
Ivy.
Blue Ivy is the name of the kid?
Blue Ivy. Yeah, Blue
What?
Ivy.
Well, who's his brother? Red Lampshade? Blue Ivy is the name of the person?
Blue Ivy.
Blue Ivy. Wow, that's bizarre. All right, fine. Okay, what else you got? What other weird shit you got?
My whole point is, aren't you
Weird.
offended by that?
The name?
That billionaires are running, not the kid's name, but that they're running around
Yeah.
flaunting their
I don't
riches.
You know what? Go ahead.
It's
but
like-
I mean, whatever. I don't give a rat's ass, quite honestly. I mean, that got you pretty peeved, huh?
Got me pissed off.
Wow. And what was on Hulu that you were watching that this commercial dared interrupt?
I was sneaking in a couple of episodes of
Who
the
were you?
Goldbergs.
The Goldbergs.
Who my wife hates that show, but I love it. It's all about the 80s, dude. You should watch
Isn't that show based on an original show from like the 50s? Wasn't there a Goldbergs, an original The Goldbergs?
No, it's about a guy from the 80s. It's his life story. It's pretty good.
Very interesting.
Anyway, if you didn't know it, that's the start of the show, Mr. Jimmy Farrow.
Oh, hi there.
Jimmy, we'd like to thank the band that sings the theme song for Monty and the Farrow, Wisteria Hall. Jimmy Farrow, along with his partner, Bart Griggs, make up the band Wisteria Hall. They sing such great songs as In My Dream, This Life, Not Far Behind, Here Comes the Rain. And you can find their music on the Wisteria Hall YouTube page. Give them a thumbs up and a like. Hear them on Spotify. Download them on Spotify, Apple Music, and Reverb Nation. If you didn't know it, you are watching Long Island's #1 pro wrestler and broadcast, Monty and the Farrow. You can catch us on the Monty and the Farrow YouTube page and Monty and the Farrow Facebook Live page. Hear us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Twitch TV, and if you're lucky enough to live in New York, catch us on Channel 115 every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. and Saturday at 11:30 p.m.
Yeah.
And Channel 20 on Tuesdays at 1 a.m. And now we are part of Amazon Music. I want to thank everybody for joining us, where we're going to be right back with our Christmas special, and we're back with our special guest who's going to just discuss everything with us.
Okay.
Wolfie D, who has a show on Wednesdays with Wolfie D.
Nice.
And he's on, and we're going to discuss news, wrestling, and whatever else floats his boat.
Okay.
All right, we'll be right back.
That sounds good. See you in a second, folks.
Hey folks, this is Wolfie D here, and if you are looking to buy or sell a home in Tennessee or Southern Kentucky, you're going to want to call my buddy, the rock star realtor, Benji Bowie. And you say, Wolfie, how do I get in touch with this rock star? Well, you can call him directly at 615-390-8216. You can go to his website, bowiehomes.com. That's B-U-I-E homes.com. Or you can email him at benbuie34@gmail.com. BENBUIE34@gmail.com. When you need a home, you need the Rockstar Realtor. Tell him Wolfie sent you. Benji is a member of Exit Realty's Garden Gate team in Gallatin, Tennessee.
The Monty and the Farrow Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine. Yeah. All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Farrow, where Jimmy Farrow is complaining because the studio is too cold. And I was trying to explain to him, during the summertime, it was too hot. He's like that little bear whose porridge is too cold and too hot. You're like that little bear.
This studio is not just right. It's not too hot. It's not too... Well, it is too cold. It's not just right. I don't want to... And why am I a little bear? Why do I have to be a little bear? You know, Jimmy's the little bear. Why? I want to be the big, grouchy motherfucking bear.
Wait a minute. I got it.
And the room is not just right. What?
PJ says he was looking at old signs today.
Okay.
I guess talking about the nonsense that
gonna be
started,
good.
right?
Yeah, it's gonna
and
be
his
good.
favorite so far was Goldberg eats corn the long way. And people weren't offended back then.
That's great.
How about when girls were showing their titties during the Attitude Era?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on.
Oh, yeah. How about waiting for Guns N' Roses to come on and on the big Titan?
I'm sorry. I'm not
girls
gonna
are showing their titties.
get into this like that was the worst thing ever happened. It was a silly sign, a
Yeah,
big deal.
and I thought Don
and
Rickles-
Nyla Rose was offended.
I
big
thought
deal.
Don Rickles would have loved it.
I think it's funny as hell.
I grew up to All in the Family. It's funny.
All right, Wolfie, where you at, big guy?
I am trying to watch this game. My boys are on, man. My boys are on, and
Who are we talking about? The Tennessee Titans?
This is being like how much I love you guys, because normally if there's a Titans games on, I don't talk to nobody. I don't do nothing. I just So I'm with you guys.
Well, if you were a Jet fan, you would just be talking to us anyway because there's nothing to see. So.
Why would I want to be a Jets fan?
Hey! I thought you loved us. Be nice. We live in pain eternally here with the football. You be nice.
I love you, but I'm a Nashvilleian. Even though I live in Kentucky now, I'm a Nashvilleian, and the Titans are my guys, man.
Yeah. They've been pretty decent. I mean, compared to the Jets, everybody's decent.
Well, they actually, and that's the F up thing, man. Is we lost to the Jets, which
Yeah.
What the fuck happened there?
Yeah, I don't know.
But we lost Derrick Henry, which is got Derrick Henry on it. Would be suffering heavily without him. But we're still number 3 seed right now. But the 49ers are kind of putting it on us right now, man. Do you not like my shirt?
Mike doesn't like it.
I don't like it.
You don't?
No.
Monty?
I'm a Jets fan, but I don't even have a team anymore.
Will it offend you if I wear this, or should I cover it, or what?
You could turn it inside out. That would probably be better.
Inside out.
It's fine.
I got a better idea. Hang on.
Uh-oh.
Was it room service?
The bell's ringing. You know what that means?
Baby, Monty doesn't like my shirt. Can you cover it for me? Okay.
What the? Wow.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wow. You know, that shirt is much improved.
That's much better.
Much improved.
Keep it just like that the entire show,
That's
please.
fantastic. That's an excellent shirt. Excellent. And it looks like it fits perfectly. There you go.
Yeah, you like it now?
Yes.
Are you a Titans fan?
I can think of a. No, I can't say it. He's gonna make me say something, and then he's gonna come down here and punch me right in the mouth. I'm not saying what I'm thinking, but thank you for the view, brother. Oh my God.
Thank you, baby.
Oh my Lord. Yeah, thank you. Please come again. Thank you. My Lord. Good job there, Wolfie. Good job. Wait a minute. You have time for football with that in the house? What are you talking about? Oh my God. Unbelievable.
I love you guys.
Unbelievable.
Ditto, my friend. Hey, so I want you and the Farrow to chime in. We had Vampiro on last week, and we started discussing the whole situation with Hannibal. You know, Hannibal, he has his own show on YouTube, and he's a part-time wrestler, and he took advantage, I guess, of some kid that gigs himself as a referee.
He's not a kid at this point. He's
whatever.
He's a kid, though. People forget that. A lot of people are kids to us at this point.
What are your thoughts about taking advantage of someone like that?
Okay. So what I've seen on that is that, like, did he pay this dude to come do this with him? Is that the deal?
There must have been something going on.
Yeah, there was some sort of payment.
That's what I would, because
Right.
honestly, I read up on this, and I don't know this guy. The only thing I knew, I thought he was just some Mark interviewer guy that interviewed people. I had no idea that he was actually a wrestler, because I'll click on stuff and listen to somebody's interview or something with Hannibal or whoever he is. I don't know the guy. I've never met the guy that I'm aware of, but man, I think, and it's just like the New Jack thing, man. I loved New Jack to death. I loved him to death, but man, he fucking stabbed somebody in the ring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what this guy did was like, fuck, man, way out of line, man. I mean, I've done crazy stuff. I mean, on the last episode, I talked about the Puerto Rico thing, but it was because I was scared. It wasn't because I wanted to get over and put icy hot in the guy's eyes or whatever. I was a kid, and it was Puerto Rico, and I was kind of scared, honestly. And if the people watch the last episode, I explain everything. But what this dude did, man, I mean, you're jabbing somebody. What was the object? That's what I'm confused of. They said it was was it a knife or what was it?
It was a golden spike.
A golden spike.
Yeah, golden spike.
It might have been our boy Andrew Anderson's spike, I think. Or Kevin Sullivan's spike, who knows?
But yeah, that shit, I mean, you send somebody to the hospital like that intentionally, and I did see something where he said it was because of his mask. That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. If you've got a mask you can't see out of, how you gonna wrestle? You know what I mean? That's bullshit, man. I think this dude, I don't know if is he trying to just get publicity, or has he got some sadistic fucking shit in his head, or, I mean, because you got to think about that, man. You really do, man. In the wrestling business, I've met a lot of weird people. I've met people that have robbed banks. I've met people that are pedophiles. I've met a lot of weird people in this business. So does he have some kind of kink, or you know what I mean? Something like
Hmm.
that? I don't know.
You know, being in the business, when you see, shit like this, and you don't know the wrestler, do you immediately think to yourself, "Am I being worked?" Because I do wonder if this whole thing is a work. I mean, what is the
I
wrestler
mean, it
himself
could be,
who's
but
had the experience?
the only way it's a work is if that dude that let him stab his head
Right,
and cut his arteries and take him to the hospital is that big of a mark.
right,
I mean,
right,
that's the only way it's a work.
right.
That's it.
Have you seen that
mean,
level
so-
of desperation from some people in the that want to get into the business? Would you be surprised if this turned out to be something like, okay, fuck me up, I don't care, I want to get in further?
Absolutely would not be surprised at all.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Fair enough.
Absolutely not. But I just think, I don't know. And I haven't seen the footage even. I haven't even seen the footage. I've seen a couple stills, and then I've seen the after stuff. But,
Hmm.
man, that's just dumb, man. That's just dumb. I mean, it really is. And half the shit that a lot of these guys do with this extreme shit, it's fucking dumb. It's just fucking dumb. I mean, we see all these things where motherfuckers try to do triple flips and they land on their head and damn near break their neck, and jumping off a fucking building through a burning table in the bed of a truck. And I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen all this. I mean, it's just stupid. It's not making any money. You know what I mean?
So, what was your thought
Go ahead.
what was your thought when PG-13 went through the ECW back in the day? Did you think about some of that? Not all of it, obviously, but did you think some of that stuff was stupid, or did you think at the time, right place, right time for extreme wrestling, or?
ECW was it was right place at right time. And when I was there, I didn't even take as much as a chair shot in ECW. Me and Jamie worked with Mikey Whipwreck and Spike Dudley most of the time. We also worked the Eliminators. I worked Taz in a single. We worked the Pit Bulls. I mean, we pretty much worked everybody, but it was never those crazy fucking matches. We had crazier matches than Memphis.
Right.
But everything meant something. We didn't do anything just to fucking do it. We did shit to line up for next week or down the road or whatever. And, it might be just one big bump, one crazy fucking bump to make sense later. Not just all this dumb shit that they do now. It's like too many crazy bumps in one match. None of it means anything.
I'm going to ask you and Farrell. First, I'm going to ask you Wolfie, then I'm going to ask Farrell. So now Hannibal is going after The Miz from the WWE because TMZ questioned The Miz, showed him the video, and The Miz said something like, this guy shouldn't be in wrestling. So Hannibal went on his YouTube channel to say that his wife Maurice is a whore, and she used to have sex with Rene Dupree. Do you think it's right to be dragging people's real life spouses into things like this?
Fuck no, man. No, you don't do that, man. And that's super unprofessional and not cool. And I kind of feel like this is a lead into the me and Jamie thing, where I think he said some shit about my girl that is not true, and that crosses a line right there. There's wrestler code, man. There really is. Unless you're okay with it beforehand, if it's an angle, if it's whatever, you don't drag in personal bullshit unless it's okay with the person that you're doing it with, man. Then you're a fucking dick after that.
What do you think, Jimmy?
I think I want Jamie and Wolfie to have at it on the show. That's what I think. But that's how I feel about it. It's
Hey,
like
you know why he does not want any part of that?
please.
Is because, like, when he was on there with you guys, y'all were not going to rebut him. He knows that if he comes on there with me, I'm going to rebut him, and I'm going to have every answer that he bullshitted his way through that interview with y'all. and a lot of it was lies, but a lot of it was just bullshit. And you know, if the people watch my show, episode 3, I talk about all that, but it's just like whatever. But I think he took it. I was having fun with it, honestly, which I can't believe Jamie, you know, having been brought up in the business and all that bullshit, can't understand that I was pissed off when I went on your show. I was pissed off, and I had every right to be, because he lied to me. He lied to me. That was the main thing. If you don't want to show up, whatever, but don't lie to me. Don't fucking lie to me, and don't not return my calls and stuff like that. That was the major heat with me right then.
Sure.
But, you know, and then his wife has gone on social media and said some things, and then he said what he said with the cheap shots and all that, and I was having fun with it. That's why, you know, this guy,
I was going to
this
say.
dumb bitch right here, he does not like Wolfie anymore. Can you believe I blocked Wolfie on Facebook? I blocked him. That son of a bitch. I blocked him.
Why did you block Wolfie? What is your deal?
Well, because he's an asshole. And he talks the truth.
This puppet's
And
blocking.
he says things about me that I really don't like.
We've hit an all-time low interviewing a puppet.
What are you talking about? That's Jamie. What are you talking about?
Hey, Wolfie.
Haven't you been watching the
I'm a
series?
real motherfucker, man. I'm
Wo-
a real motherfucker.
Wolfie, I want to ask you about the recent turn that we spoke about earlier about Nyla Rose being offended by a fan sign, and they kicked the fan out of the audience because of that sign. And then I wanted to ask you about your thoughts on basically having a transgender athlete competing against the opposite sex.
90-pound chicks like Rio.
Man, I am totally against all that. I mean, especially in like what they've got that going on in the Olympics, and you know, all this like real athletics. You're letting a man, I don't care. It's a man. You're letting them compete against women, and that's not cool. What was the deal where the one man fought the girl and crushed her face or whatever? Dude, a man is genetically stronger than a woman. I don't care if you want to be a woman. If you want to be called a woman, that's fine. But that's just not. Nah, I don't get it. Whatever. I don't get it. I don't think it's right.
How about the sign? Did you feel that it needed to be pulled down, and the person should have been thrown out of the?
Nobody would care. Nobody would care if it was a sign against a heterosexual man. Nobody would care. Nobody would care whatever it said, as long as it wasn't super explicit or something like that. Nobody would care. But because it was against that community that you can't fuck with, then it's a problem.
Wolfie, how would you be if you were actually competing nowadays and in the locker room and in walks Nyla Rose? Are you just going to be professional and be like, you know what, I don't swim in your toilet, don't pee in my pool? Or do you walk up and go, now fuck this and fuck your gimmick, and I think this sucks? How would you handle it?
I would be professional, man. Absolutely. Right. But if I had to work with him or something like that, you know, not that I would.
What if you had to? I mean, what if you had to?
I did, and I'm gonna hit you like a man.
There you go. Okay.
Hey, by the way, Phil says out there, a UPenn swimmer competed for 3 years as a man before switching and breaking the women's records.
Wow, that sounds fair.
To me.
I'm sorry, Wolf?
That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
How does that happen? How does a man break a woman's record?
He feels strongly both ways?
Say that again?
He feels strongly both ways? I don't know. It's like the old beer commercial. Wasn't that the catchphrase?
Stingers 10 says nobody cared. Now they got more attention because they took the sign down. That could be right.
Yeah.
All right, with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break where we're doing our Christmas special along with special guest and star of Wednesdays with Wolfie D. We'll be right back.
See you in a sec.
Jimmy, I got to take a dump. What? No. I mean, I need a dumpster.
Well, for all those needs, you need to call Big V Dumpster Rental, Long Island, New York, 631-900-DUMP. And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB.
You need a body shop? You need engine repair? Auto Excellence. Collision Specialists. 631-261-6420. That's 631-261-6420. Auto Excellence. All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Monty Nefaro, produced out of Indie Music TV. Catch us every Thursday from 9 to 10 p.m., where we've got our special guest, star of Wednesdays with Wolfie D. And Wolfie, thanks again for joining us.
Man, I'm so happy to be here. And I'm so happy to be joined up with you guys, man. Like, seriously, man. I appreciate y'all so much. I really do.
Thank you. Same here, man. Same here.
And, dude, we got big things in the future, right? We've got Vampiro. We'll have a weekly show on Sundays. And then on Saturdays, we've got The Dungeon, right?
In the Dungeon.
Right?
Yeah, wasn't that with Kevin?
Yeah, with Kevin Sullivan and Andrew Anderson.
Yeah, nice.
Who actually, Andrew Anderson and Kevin Sullivan were there that day in Texas with Hannibal.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, gotcha. By the way, if Hannibal, didn't Hep C cut Hannibal's career short? Didn't he get Hep C from Abdullah?
Supposedly.
Didn't Hannibal just lick the guy's blood when this was going on?
That's correct.
What the fuck is that? I thought he's got a big problem with the hep and the blood and all that other stuff. He's licking other people's blood off their forehead. This is fucked up, dude.
It's really good.
That's fucked up.
It's really good you brought that up. Wolfie, as a wrestler, right, were you ever afraid of HIV and Hep C, considering you guys cutting yourselves all the time?
Had to be. I would think.
Yeah, man. I'll be honest with you. When I got in the business, like blading and stuff was kind of no big deal, and we did a lot of it in Memphis during the run that we had. I really never had to get a lot of color like before that, but I was always the one. Jamie didn't want to get colored. I was always the color guy because I always got good color. But there were times when it was not in the moment right there. But then as time went on and things got worse, then I started being like, damn, man, I bladed with this guy or this guy. You know what I'm saying? And then I thought how stupid it was. But thank God, and I promise to God, I'm clean on all that. But it was risky. It was very risky. I mean, there were times I actually, and I think I'm going to do a segment on my show where I show this, but there was a time where when we were working for WWE, they were against, blading was done. You couldn't do it. And but me and Jamie could take outside bookings, and we did on IWA Mid-South. I don't know if you've heard of that, know what that is. Ian Rotten, who fucked up the whole Kentucky thing, fucked up the whole commission, all that shit. You couldn't fight outside the ring. If anybody, even if it was indeliberate, like if you got a hard way, you start bleeding, they stop the match. I mean, it fucked Kentucky wrestling up so bad. You had to have the license. You still have to do all that. And when I worked for USWA and we ran Louisville every fucking week, I never had licenses I knew about. Maybe Jarrett and them, did it or whatever. That's a whole nother subject. What I think on the Wrestling Boxing Commission is a fucking racket. But at any rate, we went out there with these guys and we were working for Ian's promotion, which the fans would bring objects to hit people with and stuff. And they bring them consecutive weeks. And we're talking, I remember seeing a baseball with nails in it and a rope, okay? Pow! So that's like sharing a needle, right? If you hit me with it and then you hit somebody else with it, is that not like sharing a needle?
Sure.
Okay. So that type of shit was pissing me off so bad. And I went out there with these guys, man. I ended up beating dude up because he hit me with it was a wiffle ball bat, one of those big red ones with the fat end and everything, and it had tacks taped all around it. But Jamie actually is the one that brought it into play. And before we went out, I told him, I said, don't hit me with none of that dumb shit. I said, I'll take a stop sign that you got. You know, it was Pondo and some other guy named Ox. And I said, I'll take a stop sign, a chair, whatever. You want to hit me with that, that's fine. But do not hit me with any of that shit that, like, sticks you and stuff. Do not. And they did. And so dude got his ass whooped. But I just, no. Not cool, man. I don't. Like I said, back in the day, we did. I colored with a number of guys, but yeah. Right now, when you look at it, it's like, man, that was dumb. But that was just how it was back then.
Did you ever ask Jamie to sharing these bleeding responsibilities? Why did you always have to be the one who gigged himself? Why Jamie grew up in the business. Couldn't he share a little bit of this, or was it just like, fuck that?
I mean, he gigged every once in a while, but he just wasn't as good at it as I was.
Okay. Well, your forehead doesn't look like, rest in peace, New Jacks, but so I guess you did okay, but ow.
Hey, Wolfie, Mike Belton's asking, he enjoys your work in Memphis. What did you think about Scott Bowden? Any stories? He was hilarious on the mic.
Scott was awesome on the mic. He really was. I think Scott was a rich kid. For some reason, Lawler and Brian, his son, loved him. And I'm not sure what the relationship there was, but yeah, he was good on the mic, man. I don't want to say that like he didn't like me or something, but I don't know. I didn't have a relationship with him. I did.
So, Wolfie, let me ask you this. Did you ever think about reaching out to some of the organizations and lending out your talents to maybe help train some of these younger wrestlers coming up?
Well, I had my own wrestling school in Nashville. What year was that? 2012, 11, something like that. I had my own wrestling school, Wolfie D's House of Champions. It was in Murfreesboro at first, and then I moved it to Nashville, and it did good for a minute. And the thing was, I sent my students out when like Raw would come to Nashville. When Raw would come to Nashville, I would send them out, handing out flyers for the school. And I'm from there. I went to school there. I mean, everybody knew me in that town. And it did good. But then, unfortunately, relationship stuff kind of got jacked up. And so I moved to Knoxville. And I actually hired Chris Michaels to run it for me, because I was having to go from Knoxville to Nashville. I was doing it like 2 nights a week, and I was making money at it. It was doing great, but I was having to go from Knoxville to Nashville 2 nights a week to run the school, and it just got like gas and just all that. So anyway, participation dropped off because it's called Wolfie D's House of Champions, and then Chris Michaels was training, who I trusted though, and I put him over. I'll put him over 1,000 times. Chris is good, but he wasn't the name on the school, and so then it started dropping off. And
wait a minute, can I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah.
Chris Michaels, who's Chris Michaels?
Chris Michaels is he's known around Kentucky and Nashville, and he's a very good wrestler. Very good. Very good. I met him when I was 15 years old. Me and him had matches that the main event guys on these indie shows around Tennessee and Kentucky, they couldn't even follow us, man. I mean, Chris is good. Chris is really, really, really fucking good.
So he didn't drive away your membership with long-winded stories or anything like that?
No. It was
Okay, just want to make sure, because I'm
Wait
not
a
sure.
minute.
I'm not sure I know if this is the right.
Hold on, Wolfie. This isn't
Okay.
the same Chris Michaels.
It's not, right?
I hope not.
This
Isn't the Chris Michaels that was in that wrestled for the UWF?
I don't think so. What
Okay.
UWF?
Okay.
Remember the old UWF?
Herb Abrams?
Herb Abrams UWF when they were taking a run at the WWE.
Absolutely. No.
Okay.
All right. Just
Thank
making-
God.
He's just he's a kid that, man, honestly, he
It's definitely
has
not. Okay.
tremendous talent.
Okay.
Tremendous talent, but never could find his personality.
He couldn't break out of that
to
area?
go over the edge.
Okay.
So Wolfie, you love wrestling, and so I'm going to ask you a few things. Do you watch wrestling movies and documentaries at all?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, some. Yeah.
So which documentary on wrestling is your favorite?
I think the Resurrection of Jake was good.
Okay. Okay.
That was probably my favorite. And there's one on me that unfortunately the fucking asshole that fucking did it. I refuse to say his name. I refuse
All right.
to say his fucking name anymore. But there's one on me. It's on Amazon, and if you watch it and pay for it, I'm not gonna get a fucking nickel out of it.
Oh.
I should, but it's a long story. But there's one on me that I think could have been a lot better if the guy was a fucking.
All right, let's go back.
smart person.
What happened with this documentary on you?
Well, I gave the motherfucker. I had two big totes full of VHS tapes of stuff that like nobody's got. Some stuff, yeah, it's on YouTube, but most of my stuff you could not and still cannot see. I had every USWA, ECW fan cam. I had everything, and I gave him these. And I said, "Here, just make." And before that, I took him on a tour of my life. Okay, we went to my childhood apartment complex where my stepfather hung me over a balcony by my ankle. Okay, if you watch this, you'll see that there's just some crazy shit. My stepdad, man, he hung me over a third-story balcony by my ankle. All right, and I took him to that place, and we took shots of, man, pretty high up. No wonder I'm scared of heights now. I took him to my school, my high school where I wrestled. I mean, I got him interviews with Lawler, Lance Russell, Dave Brown, Coco. I mean, people that this motherfucker could not even contact. So he made this thing, and it was taking forever. And I was putting it on my social media. I'm like, dude, man, you gotta speed this up because I know how to hype this. And if you'll fucking hurry up, this will be good. So then all of a sudden, he had a problem with that. Fuck you, fuck this. And he had my tapes and said, oh, I don't know where they are. I lost them or something. And I even contacted Tom Pritchard because Tom was kind of friends with the guy. And he told Tom the same thing. I don't know what happened to the tape. So the motherfucker stole all my shit, man. And he paid me up front. Here's the real deal. Up front, this motherfucker paid me $500. And we went and filmed all this shit. And I got him all these interviews. And I was supposed to get a cut on everything. And now I see that if you go on Amazon, you can rent it for, what, $3, $4, $5, I don't know. But I ain't getting shit off of it.
Is this
And I really it just pisses me off, man, because I want to punch this guy in his face so
Is this
bad.
is this
So
steaming
bad.
pile of shit still involved in the business with other wrestlers, or was this just a one shot deal for this asshole?
Yeah, I've seen where he's on shows, and I think he's got a channel on Roku or something like that. I don't know, but he's a piece of shit, man.
Well, what's the name of the channel? I fuck people over.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
On Dick
That's
is what it's called, I think.
that's very, very, very bizarre.
All right, so Wolfie, we're almost out of time. I want to thank you for joining us. Can you tell the fans where they can catch your podcast and your show?
Yeah, man. On your channel, man. Wednesdays with Wolfie, and then also Live It in Color with Wolfie D. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, Apple, Spotify, whatever. Please go to Pro Wrestling Tees. Look up Live It in Color with Wolfie D. Purchase shirts. And the figures are coming. That's the other thing I want to say is that the little figures are coming from China, so it's taking a second. But the packaging is here. The figures just are not. And so we're going to have that. And, you know.
Is that going to say made in China? I didn't know if we were still doing that sort of thing. Really? That's cool. Wolfie's gone all classic retro with us.
Hopefully.
So
It sounded that way.
Wolfie, we want to thank you for joining the show, and we want to wish you and Diamond Sparkles a very Merry Christmas. And what a blessing it is to have you part of the channel, and more importantly, what a blessing it is to call you a friend, sir.
Man, thank you, Monty, man. Yeah, that means a lot, man. Honestly, I appreciate you. You guys have helped me out, and I really, really like both of you guys. I really do.
Thanks, bro.
All right, brother. God bless you. All right. That was Wolfie D. Hold on, I got a little surprise for the fans out there.
A what?
And we're gonna try our best of our ability.
My ear went cauliflower again?
Andrew,
Hey, am I live?
you're live on the air with Monty and Farrow. We've got the great Andrew Anderson on the phone. Andrew, how are you, bud?
I'm good, brother. How you doing? Merry Christmas, buddy.
Merry Christmas.
My buddy Rich Muscarell said what? He's very thin. Michael, he's very thin.
Good, Rich. Thank you so much.
They call me skinny, though, when I walk through the bars.
He's very
They all
thin.
call me skinny. They can't believe I have abs. He's way too thin. He can't even show me the world if he's that thin. He's saying they're pissed I have abs now.
Well, you're looking good, brother. You're looking good. Listen, Andrew, I don't want to put you on the spot, right? We just had Wolfie D on. The show's pretty hot. We're doing well.
Okay.
Fans are asking a question. Look, here's the deal, and you answer it to the best of your ability. We were discussing the whole situation with Hannibal, my friend. What went on that day in Texas? What do you know?
I did what I had to do and got out. I can't comment on it. I really can't. I can't. I'm under a gag order not to get involved right now.
What, is somebody holding a spike to your head? Hi, Andrew.
Carlito and I, we brawled out of the ring, and we got out of Dodge, and what happened. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. I was in the backstage area, and that's all I can say for now.
Could you at least tell me or tell us, was it a work or was it real?
Well, it was as far as I knew, it was supposed to be a work that the guy was really seriously injured. You know, that's all I know. So,
Okay.
you know, I mean, I don't know what happened from there on in. Like I said, I wasn't there. I mean, you know, I never known, you know, anything like this, you know, to go wrong. You know, I mean, I don't know what happened, and you know, it's one of those things. You know, I wasn't there. I was in the back, and I came back out, and you know, I thought it was, you know, the guy, you know, was bleeding a lot. That's all I know. You know, and I know that Kevin came back and he was upset. You know, he said, you know. He said, I don't know what's going on. So I really try to stay out of this. You know, I did my part and got in and got out with Carlito, and that's all I'm saying. So, you know, my part that was done, you know. That's all I can say at this point. So.
Well, that's understandable, Andrew, and I know we took you by surprise here, but people were just asking, and so we want to wish you a Merry Christmas. You're a great friend of ours, and do you want to promote your upcoming show on the channel?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the dungeon inside the dungeon with Kevin Sullivan and myself, and you know, we'll be talking about everything wrestling, rock and roll, and acting. We're gonna have some rock and roll celebrity guests, and we're going to have some wrestling celebrity guests, and we're going to be putting things up and making sure that everything happens, and it'll be all pre-recorded, hopefully not too edited, because I don't like to edit stuff out, and we'll talk about a lot of wrestling stories, a lot of rock stories, road stories with rock stars, and as well as wrestlers, and we're not going to be talking initially about any of the situations that happened in Texas. I just say it's over, it's done with it. I want to keep myself out of it, and what happened. That's just it's one of those things. I can't really get into specifics. I'm staying out of it.
We totally understand, Andrew.
Yeah, but Andrew, I just wanted to throw in real fast. I'm not coming to referee your match next week. Fuck that.
Jimmy Farrow, you're a dick, but I love you.
Yeah, well, Takes
All right,
one to know
brother.
one, I
Merry
guess.
Christmas. We'll talk to you soon.
Merry Christmas, guys.
All right,
Later.
How was Wolfie D?
Wolfie D's great as always, man. He's part of. Now you're joining the family. We've got Vampiro coming on. It's going to be awesome.
Yep. All right, guys.
All right, brother. Bye.
See you later, Skinny.
So thoughts on Wolfie D? Thoughts on Andrew Anderson?
Wolfie
Farrell?
D's cool as always, man. I wonder how Wolfie's enjoying doing Wednesdays with Wolfie. I wanted to ask him.
You know what? That's a good question.
Because it's entertaining. I love the puppet. I mean, it's
How
he's
entertaining
getting
is that
creative
guy?
and shit. I
How
fucking
creative
like it.
is it?
I think it's very cool.
I told him that he is creating art. And if people haven't caught his show, I'm telling you, it is true art. It's comedy. It's good wrestling stories.
Sure,
It's good
sure.
life stories.
Yep.
And he throws in diamond sparkles
Yep.
for the men with the short
There you go. There you
attention
go.
span.
Boy, Andrew
attention
really
span.
took that, head on. That.
Well, now I wanted to ask you about
Didn't
the
he?
Andrew Anderson.
You ever hear
thing.
that song "Tiptoe Through the Tulips"?
Yeah.
Somebody's tiptoeing. Yeah, I'm a dick. How you doing there? There you go, right there, buddy.
What did you get out of that?
And
Did
I
you-
love Andrew too.
Yeah, absolutely. What did you get out of it?
Well, I think that I can understand why Andrew didn't want to have any part in it. What the fuck? It sounded like, and I agree with what Andrew said. It sounds like it was something that was planned that got carried a little bit out of control. Hannibal does have a track record of doing fucked up shit.
Do you think? Okay, so I agree. I agree
I
that.
still feel like we're all being worked.
Well, no. This is
Because
what
I can't shake that. This is wrestling.
This is what I think happened.
Yeah.
I think it was an agreement beforehand.
Yeah.
This is only the opinion of Mike Monty from Monty and the Pharaoh. This is not Jimmy Farrow. It's not
Right.
Andrew Anderson. It's not
Right.
Wolfie D. This is my opinion.
Don't make me hold up a sign.
From what I know. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome.
I think there was agreement. From what I understand is Mr. Hannibal, Devin Nicholson, got drunk.
Nice.
He got to the ring.
Nice. Drunk. big
Carlito,
drunk.
who was his opponent, pulled out.
Is this Carlito?
Carlito.
I love Carlito.
Who,
Go
by the
on.
way, that Hannibal pays these wrestlers so he
Right.
can wrestle and beat them,
Sure.
and that's how. But fine, you know what? This is wrestling,
That's fine,
okay?
Of course, it is what it is.
Carlito wasn't going to get involved in bleeding,
Yeah.
so he hires this referee.
Yeah.
Hannibal's drunk.
Yeah.
The kid's bleeding, but not probably to the level that Hannibal wants,
Once more.
and Hannibal wants more,
Interesting.
and it gets out of control.
And then he licks his blood.
And then he licks his blood.
Licks his blood.
So I agree with everybody saying out there. By the way, humbled by all the people watching us: Phil, Maria, PJ, Thomas,
Hello.
Davio. I mean, 802 as always. Gary, thank you for joining in. And Gary, I think it was
Absolutely.
Gary that said he was there. But the point is, yeah, I think it was a work. And then Hannibal thought he could just continue
Got
on
a
and do
little
what he
kooky.
wanted.
Yeah, well, he has done things like that in the past here and there.
And he's a big dude.
He's a fucking monster.
He's a monster. He could probably
monster.
rip our heads
He's a
off.
monster.
And he got out
But
of
he
control.
also strikes me a little bit like he puts the lotion in the basket.
Yes.
There's something missing.
So here's my next question.
But I don't even know if that's by design with him,
Well,
because
here-
this is wrestling.
Here's my next question
You know?
too on that whole thing.
Yeah.
Why is Hannibal backtracking then on his shows? Like, why does he just say, "Hey, look, I wanted more blood"? I guess he'd get in trouble.
Well, isn't there a legal process supposedly going on right now?
I don't think so, dude. From what I understand, the
Well,
referee
then why
didn't
was
probably-
Andrew afraid to answer anything then? I thought there was some sort of legal thing going on.
Because I think if Andrew is a wrestler and he wants to work in the industry, he doesn't want to make enemies.
Okay,
I
that's
mean,
fair enough.
Matt, what are your thoughts?
That's fair enough.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm not well informed.
Well, there you go.
You ask the poor kid who's basically looking forward to watching the Halloween sequel, who does not watch wrestling, but does a great job for this
Well,
show.
no, I think
How do you feel about this whole country?
No, but the
He
point-
don't give a rat's
point
ass. He's
is-
back there making sure the levels are clear. You keep doing your thing over there.
You asked about Andrew. You asked about Andrew.
Yeah.
And I think if in anything that you want to do in life
Yeah.
is you don't want to
Yeah,
rock
no,
the boat. right?
I'm just having fun with the tiptoe through the tulips. But I totally get it. You got to be smart. Remember one time was it Andrew? A wrestler was like, don't say anything. We were interviewing somebody. I can't remember the exact person, but it was like, don't say anything to them about me. Don't say anything. It was like, what are you worried about? Then the company folds. What the fuck are you worried about? It's
Wow,
like,
you just calling that out.
what? I don't even remember who. I remember there
the
was.
time-
I don't know if that was. It
Remember
could have been anybody.
Do you remember the time Andrew was having
We've had now you're being
Remember
specific.
the time Andrew was having sex, and then I
No!
said, Andrew, are you having sex? And he goes, I
could
really
be.
can't answer
I
that.
might be.
I might be.
Is that squeaking?
I don't
is
know
that
if it's it or
squeaking
not.
you here? What are you talking about? Now you're a dick. Now he's gonna call you and tell you you're a dick. That really hurt, Andrew. I have feelings.
Andrew,
Not
did you,
many, but
did you eat sashimi or sushi? I really don't want to answer that question because
I do
Rice
not
might
wanna-
get offended.
And then they might raise the import taxes for soy sauce. Yeah.
Andrew, did you turn your car on or not?
Yeah.
I really don't want to answer that question as my key may not be happy.
Andrew, how's that diet going? I don't want the big bite. I want the little bite. He wants the little bite at 7-Eleven. That's why he's after the little bite. This is great. This is just foul. I'm looking forward to the show though with Andrew and Kevin very much, and our love goes to Kevin.
Oh, that should be good.
Did you say
Kevin,
hello to Kevin?
Kevin,
Kevin Sullivan rules.
Kevin's going to be like, Andrew, what are you doing right now? I really don't want to
can't.
answer
I
that
don't want
question. I'm not going to answer that question right
on
now.
the grounds that I might incriminate myself. I'm buttering a bagel,
In fact-
and I'm doing it carefully.
In fact, Kevin, you just talk. I'll sit here because I don't want to say anything wrong.
Here's the show. You speak, and I'll nod.
Or no, you don't want to nod because that will officiate something.
Yeah.
So what is
Yeah.
maybe this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ace Frehley, lead guitar, shock me! Boom, ba-doom, boom, ba-doom, doom. Hit it! We're going to have Ace on. They're going to have Ace on, aren't they?
You get angry.
He's
about
saying,
that.
I'm angry. I wanted, Andrew was going to come down and jam with Ace here. What's going on here? This is not right. I'm very angry about this. I've got cauliflower ear, and I don't have Andrew jamming with Ace.
Who would win?
Here!
Who would win? Big Fat Whale or the Blood Hunter?
Oh, that's ridiculous. The blood hunter would murder Big Fat Whale.
You
And then
think?
he would eat the blubber. Because whales are filled with blubber. So he would eat the blubber,
Anyway.
and he would lick the whale's blood. It would be terrible.
Phil says, my new excuse for everything, I couldn't see through the openings of the mask.
See through the open. Wait a minute. How did he get to the bathroom and wipe later? Like, where's the paper? And he's like,
Hey,
that's
Blood
not-
Hunter, is that shit on your ass? I couldn't see the toilet paper. It's not my fault.
That's not blood you're licking, Hannibal. And on that note, take us out, Mike, please. By all
Thank you
means.
for joining Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast. Want to thank and wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. Be safe, enjoy yourself, and God bless everyone.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. Later.